king from the age of 4, Louis XIV would become one of the most famous and longest reigning monarchs in French history.
Anne of Austria, whose Louis XIV's mother nominally ran the country while he was a small boy. But there was a man named Mazarin who really had the reins of government. He was kind of a despot and he was very manipulative.
When Louis was 9, an uprising called Le Fronde forced him to flee from Paris. Le Fronde ended in 1653 and Louis was crowned in 1654.
Louis never really forgave the nobility who rebelled against the crown. He chose to live outside of Paris most of his reign. He was determined to take traditional powers away from the nobility in France.
In 1660, Louis XIV married Marie Theresa of Spain.
Louis treated the Queen with politeness, even an exaggerated respect due to a daughter of the King of Spain. He also kept mistresses quite openly.
In 1661, Louis's longtime advisor Mazarin died, and rather than appoint a new first minister, Louis shocked France by taking personal control of the government, centralizing the legal system and military. Using French manufacturers and architects, Louis began to build the extravagant Palace of Versailles. But the greater drain on France's treasury was Louis's hunger for war.
On his deathbed, Louis XIV told his great-grandson and successor, the future Louis XV, that he had made war too lightly and too much for his own vanity.
In 1685, Catholic Louis revoked the Edict of Nantes, which had permitted Protestants to openly practice their faith.
Several 100,000 French Protestants, the Huguenots, left France, and this was both economically and culturally devastating for France in the long run.
In 1700, Louis XIV's grandson, Philip of Anjou, was named the heir to the Spanish throne. Philip was also second in line of succession for the French crown.
All of Europe was worried that Spain, with its huge global empire, was going to become united politically to France, the most powerful country militarily in Europe, creating a power that would be completely irresistible.
The War of the Spanish Succession threw the country deeply into debt. After 13 years of fighting, Philip renounced his claim to the French crown and ended the war. Louis had 4 more heirs for the throne, but only one would survive him.
He thought he was leaving this dynasty of boys that could take over from him, one by one. Smallpox, measles, or as I like to say, killed by doctors, which is the reality of the case.
Louis XIV died on September 1st, 1715, leaving the crown to his great-great-grandson.
I think Louis XIV should be remembered as a tragic figure. Somebody who, through his early love for war, left France broken, exhausted, and bankrupt.